All right, everybody, check it out. Got approval from E-Trade finally. Check it out. We're approved for futures trading. Let me switch over to a different color. Yeah. Here you are, guys. For those who want to follow along in the small account, we finally got approved for futures trading. You know, I actually had to spend over an hour on the phone yesterday because, their chat is, they don't even support you on chat because I heard that the industry and all the big brokerage firms are so slammed. They're just slammed. There's so many people sign up for accounts because, you got 25% of the workforce that's not working, right? They don't want to wear masks. They don't want to get the COVID jab, okay? And this is not a video about politics. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that aren't working the traditional jobs. So a lot of people signed up for brokerage accounts because they want to trade. So E-Trade, obviously being one of the more notable brokerage firms here in the United States of America, I read they're so slammed that they don't have enough customer support. So the chat's down. They don't even support you on chat. They don't support you on email that I could find. The only way I could get a hold of them was by phone. I had to stay on the phone for an hour, over an hour yesterday, like an hour and 10 minutes, and they finally, I finally got put through in the queue and waited there, And I talked to a guy, and he basically kind of was just making sure that, everything was in order. And then he said it'll take 1 to 2 days to be approved for the futures account. Okay, I already was approved for the equities main brokerage account, but this is a futures account that's linked to the equities account, all right? So I just talked to him yesterday, and it was already approved in less than 24 hours. So that's really, really awesome. So it looks like with the $1,000, let me switch over to the other screen. So anyway, this is an email. You're going to get an email like this. Okay, the reason I'm showing everybody who wants to follow along on the small account, the E-Trade account, is because I want you to understand you can do this, right? You just watch how I did it, right? I put $1,000 into opened up an account with E-Trade, immediately linked to my bank account, started immediately by transferring $1,000 the same time I signed up, right? And to be clear, when you sign up for E-Trade, okay, or whatever broker you're going to use, but since I'm using E-Trade, if you want to follow along, you sign up for E-Trade, sign up for your brokerage account, and sign up for the futures account at the same time. Okay? And you got to answer a bunch of questions in there. Fine, you answer the questions. Okay? And then you make a deposit. In this case, I deposit $1,000. Remember, I said, I think yesterday or the day before, we wanted to see whether or not $1,000 was going to be enough to trade futures. Well, the guy yesterday was on the phone. He said he's seen people trade with less, like on some of the futures options, I think he mentioned. Okay, which I don't really trade the options on futures that often. Okay, but he said, yeah, he says there shouldn't be a problem. So you'll get a message in your E-Trade messaging system in the queue online when you log in, but you also get this email you see in front of you. Okay, all right, let me switch over and I'll show you something else on the E-Trade account itself. Right, so over here on this is called Power E-Trade, upper left-hand corner. Okay, when you can launch that when you log into E-Trade. You just click on trading, and one of them will be Power E-Trade. Okay, there's a couple ways to trade. Okay, I don't really like this trading platform anywhere near as much as I like the TD Ameritrade. But for now, since I'm just getting started, fine, it'll do. Okay, but check it out in the middle of the screen. See this futures? So you got your main brokerage account up here. That's everywhere, right? You see it there, there, there. I think you see it up here. Okay. But in the middle of the screen, what you can do is you click on trade, and you'll get this pop-up, okay? You get this entire pop-up right here. And you'll notice it's futures. Well, the reason it's futures is because I typed in wheat. XW is E-mini wheat futures, and Z1 is for December 2021, okay? That's cool. Well, look, guys, buying power, $1,000. Now, yesterday, this was zero. See how it says account value 0? So I had 0 yesterday. So guess what? They approved it. Awesome. So that's really, really cool. Now, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, I'll put a link in the description. You can watch it. But I think it was yesterday's video, I talked about, and in the past, I talked about once we get this account going, then what we're going to trade most likely is either going to be currency futures. Well, you know what? We'll just call it FX for foreign exchange. But we're not trading foreign exchange directly. We're trading the futures on foreign exchange, okay? So that's that. Foreign exchange futures. Or the other one would be the grains, okay? And the reason why is because the initial margin is very reasonable, right? So we either trade FX futures or grains futures. There's one or two others that could be traded, but these are the two most likely candidates, you know, because of the low initial margin. Because remember, we only have $1,000, right? You only got $1,000 to do this, okay? So for those that are going to follow along, you know, a lot of you are like, oh, I don't trade futures. I only trade equities. I only trade the SPDR or whatever, the SPY. Well, guess what? Okay, now you got no excuse not to get into futures because it looks like E-Trade is going to allow us to trade futures on $1,000. Now, I don't know that. I haven't confirmed it. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight, just for all you guys and gals, okay, just for you, those people watching my YouTube channel, subscribers, everybody that's coming to watch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a trade, one contract trade tonight. For the E-mini right now, I think the CME group is their margin, nice 5, is $415 for one contract. That's the initial margin. Okay, so that's how much we got to have in that account. And since we have 1,000, we should be, in theory, should be using, you know, only about whatever 4/10 or 40% of this buying power. Okay. So I'm going to see if the trade goes through. I'll probably just take the trade and then just go turn right around and sell it, you know, or close the position. Open the position, close the position. I'll take a hit on the commission. But for you people, I'm going to do it, okay? But I just want to make sure and confirm and make sure we can actually do a trade, okay? So, and the only other thing I could think of at the moment that we could possibly trade is the Aussie dollar, the E micro Aussie dollar, okay? And there's a possibility to trade the E micro euro dollar, but I don't really like trading the euro dollar. It's a little bit too, I don't like its cycles, okay? But the E mini wheat, those cycles look really good. Now we may not take a trade right away because I'm kind of waiting to see what that cycle's going to do, but the cycles look really good. They look really reliable, okay? So that's where I'm headed. So for you guys and gals that want to follow along, okay, if you might already have a brokerage account somewhere else, okay, they may not allow you to trade on $1,000. A lot of them won't. I know TD Ameritrade, I think you have to have, and things may have changed, but I've had the big account for quite a few years now. But when I signed up years ago, I think you had to have $2,000 or $2,500 to trade futures. Now, you know, I don't know what it is nowadays, but on E-Trade, it looks like you can do it for $1,000 or less. All right, so if you're interested and you want to follow along on E-Trade, you'll wait till after tonight when I can confirm whether or not we can trade the futures, okay? And then for you that want to get into futures, I'll put the 3-part series in the link, in the description below this video. Go watch the 3-part series, okay? It's worth it. Take your time, watch it. It'll help you understand futures. And then if you want, you can open up an E-Trade account, move $1,000 from your current brokerage account or your bank or whatever, and get the E-Trade account up and running, okay, for the futures account, and you can start trading futures on the cheap, guys. Again, don't do it until I confirm tonight that we can actually trade with $1,000 or less, okay? So I'll confirm that probably in tomorrow's video. If I confirm that, then the next step is it's probably going to be over the weekend because I'm slam busy. I got a lot of things going on. But I'll confirm over the weekend that I can get the streaming going and try to figure out how to get all the streaming working, okay? And then we'll fire up a video, and I'll tell you guys when I'm going to do my first streaming, okay? So that's coming. That's coming. Probably in a week or less, we're going to be doing our first live stream. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I'll come on to the E-Trade. If we have a trade available on like something like the E-mini wheat, then I'll just place a trade. You know, for those that want to follow, you can follow it, okay? You know, it'll be pretty cool because I know a lot of people who have small accounts are going to be very interested in following this. I think it's going to be really awesome. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Look out for the announcement on that, okay? Getting pretty excited myself, right? Trading the small account, getting excited. Okay, let's switch over to see what happened in the marketplace today, and did I have a profit or loss, okay? So give me a second, I'll switch over to that. Right, so okay, we're over here on the E-mini S&P 500 futures, upper left-hand corner here. That's ES. These are the December contracts. Now, you know, I know a lot of you know this, but for new viewers, I normally trade the E-micro, which would be MES, which the continuous contracts are really just the December contracts, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this. Maybe I'll get these candlesticks. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it on these candlesticks. That's fine. All right, but I would like to get rid of this. I think this is the open interest line. Let's get rid of that open interest. See ya. All right, so what happened here today? Well, here's this range, guys, 28 and a quarter. Now, yesterday I said today would be a red day. Okay, I admit, I was wrong. Last 2 days, guys, I'm the first to admit, completely wrong. All right, I said it. Wrong. Had a guy, a couple trolls come on my channel yesterday. They're like, you 3 out of 4 wrong, just quit. You need to just stab yourself, slit your wrist, kind of stuff. They didn't say that, but I'm elaborating, right? Oh, that was pretty funny. I'm like, really, here we go, I mean, all this time in here, guys, from somewhere just like back up to here, through almost all of this down, I was probably like 80%. I think it was even higher than 80%. 80% of the time, I didn't really do the exact days, but 80% of my trades were profitable trades, probably higher, like 85. Okay, maybe even 90. Like 9 out of 10 trades I was profitable. I did have a big. Now somebody mentioned that I didn't tell you all about a trade ad going on. I thought I did, guys. If I did not, then forgive me. But I did have a 4K loss. I think that's the trade somebody was asking about. I had a short side trade, and yes, I took a big hit. It was a 4K loss. Yes, it sucks, but it happened. If there was another one, guys, and I didn't show you, my apologies. Okay, I've been super busy. Maybe one of the trades got by, and I just didn't share it with everybody. Okay, so if that happened, my mistake. Okay, but today, and I'll show my profit loss at the end of this video. Okay, anyway, today's range 28 and a quarter. Okay, last night actually, for like half the night, late, I was up to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was up about $200. I kept it kind of small. I just had a few contracts going on, and I was up just not quite $200. It was like I can't remember what it was, like $168 or something. I was up kind of small little profit. Okay. And I got really tired around 2 a.m. So I went to bed, and I had an OCO order there, right? If you don't know what an OCO order is, that means one cancels the other. One cancel. You can go check that out. So I had a stop loss on one side, and I had a limit order on the other side. But I had set my clock for 6 a.m. I went to bed like just before 2 a.m. I went to bed. I got up at 6 a.m. So you guys, when you're doing all the things I'm doing, which by the way, I also run a business. Well, maybe I'll talk about that. But I only got a few hours of sleep and got up. And I noticed that the position was working against me a little bit, so I just closed it. Okay, so I'll show you that profit loss at the end of this video. But anyway, so it was actually trading down last night for half the night. And today was kind of small. And for a while, I thought we were going to get one of those evening stars, because it was looking, right around like 11 a.m. my time. It was looking kind of evening stars. But it finished fairly strong here, so this is definitely not an evening star. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. I still think we're going to get a cycle low on the 24th, or either that'll be Friday the 22nd. Okay, sorry about that, looking like a bunch of Z's. Either the 22nd or the 25th, because the 24th is a Sunday. Okay, so I'm not sure when this cycle is going to end, and I'm still not convinced that we had a cycle low over here. Okay, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. I honestly, guys and gals, I was wrong these 2 days, big time right here. So I'm really reluctant to say anything. I don't know what tomorrow's going to do. Here's the thing: I really thought today, if we were going to have a green day, I thought it would just go to all-time new highs. I'm like, if you're going to have a green day, I thought it was just going to bust through, and just go up to whatever. Go to 45, 75 or something. I thought we'd get up in there, but it didn't. It hit this big old resistance. Boy, this mouse is giving me a hard time. It just hit this resistance at like 45, 32, and that's it. It just stalled. There's obviously a massive, trend line right there, a horizontal trend line, right? And, the money flow is just coming to a screeching halt. Because, guys, these are free markets, right? They're not being manipulated. No, not at all. Cough, cough. Right, that's why it just happened to come right up before the all-time high and put on the brakes. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so we'll see what happens, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I really thought today, if it was going to stay green, I thought it would just break the all-time new high. So I'm just going to, I haven't really traded much. I've been very patient these last like 3 days, 2 or 3 days in here. I've been very patient, because you can see we've got down here at the stochastic, the Big Daddy, you can see how elevated this is. We're at 404, which we're not in the nosebleed section of the bleachers yet. If this gets up to, I know this Big Daddy forecast really well. If it gets up into 430 plus area, guys, then we can say nosebleed. Okay, they will really be keeping an eye on it. But we're not there. It is elevated. Now, what does stand out to me is how massive this momentum is. Huge momentum. And it's very elevated right now. 86 and 75. 86 on the fast line and 75 on the slow line. That's elevated, guys. That right there is as elevated as it was over here. And even over here. That's very elevated. Okay, so, I'm not going to say tomorrow's a down day because I'm batting 1,000 the last 2 days on getting wrong calls on that. Okay. Let's look at the VIX. Now, somebody commented about not understanding why the VIX went from 16 to 19 or something like that. That's because, guys, the VIX spike is just because we moved to the November contract, not because of more volatility. Okay. So if you don't know, every month the VIX expires. And all forward-looking contracts, in other words, we were at October, yesterday was the October contract, and it expired yesterday, okay? So today, we started the November contracts for the VIX, down here for the VIX, okay? So the October was trading around 16, and November was trading around 19, okay? So when it switches over, it just jumps straight up to 19. That's why you're seeing this spike here. It's not because there's real volatility spikes, just because of change of contracts, okay? Everybody understand that? Go look at December contracts, guys. You can go look at the December VIX contracts. I think it's, if you want to know what that is, I think it's /VX. December is going to be Z, if I remember right, 21. Okay? If you look at that, I guarantee it's going to be even higher than 19 bucks. It'll probably trading like at 21 or 22 or something. I haven't looked at it. Okay? So that's how it works. All forward-looking VIX contracts are going to be trading higher than the older contracts. Okay, so don't let this startle you like, oh my gosh, there's been a big jump. What's going on? The analysis is wrong. Your analysis stinks, dude. Yeah, last 2 days it does. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, and I mean this sincerely. If any of you can find a YouTube channel that gets every single, and first of all, the requirement is they have to tell you every day and forecast the market every day. I don't want to hear any nonsense about generic. They don't, we only look at the long term. We don't go day to day. I don't want to hear that, okay? I'm not saying those are bad channels. I'm just saying that it's easy to forecast way out in the future, because no one's ever going to call you on it 6 months later, right? Because everybody forgot, all right? But when you're doing day-to-day analysis, that's the hardest analysis, guys. Hands down, the hardest, okay? And that's why I get the trolls, because no one's going to get it right 100% of the time, okay? Like I said, from here to here, I got it right probably 85 to 90% of the time. Admittedly, in these last few days right here, I've been way wrong. It happens. But anyway, like I was going to say, if anybody can show me a channel on YouTube that gets it right every day, and I don't want to hear just sometimes, or these guys are really good. No. I want to know they get it right every time. And you had profitable trades every day on their recommendations. Actually, I don't give recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor. I just share my educational opinion here, okay? But that's the requirement. Okay, just talking to all you trolls out there. That's a requirement. Show me a YouTube channel that gets it right every day, and you trade based on their videos, and you make money every day based on those videos. I'll be the first to subscribe, and I mean that sincerely. I'll go subscribe right now, and I'll trade like you do, and I'll be a millionaire in a month. Okay, and that's my response to all the trolls. So there you go, trolls. I know they'll still troll me. That's okay. Trolls are welcome too, unless they get nasty, then I delete their comments. And if you don't like it, oh well, that's too bad. Move on to some other channel. I just know that right now we have really super high momentum. And at some point, this thing's going to roll over. Just like we had there, just like we had there. At some point, it's going to roll over. Does that mean we're going to have some massive crash? Heck, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. But it will roll over. And that's the confirmation I'm looking for. I think one of my subscribers kind of had a bad day. And I won't mention any names. For those of you that had some bad trades, I feel for you. I really do. You know what? Don't quit. Don't give up. Like I said, I had my 4K loss. I think it was last week or the week before. I had my 4K loss. Okay? I think, guys, I don't remember what I made in here. I maybe made 12K. I don't really know. I didn't track every single penny. Maybe it was 10K. I think I made 10 or 12K in this area. Gave back about a third of it. Yeah, it hurts. It stinks. But I've made more than I've lost, and overall I'm a happy camper. I've been playing it cool the last few days, like I said. Okay, I'm waiting for confirmation, not because I have a short side bias, just because this thing looks like it's a balloon about to pop. And today, with this hesitation bumping up against the all-time high, we're like almost got up to it but didn't. I'm in a wait and see mode, guys. I'm just waiting to see because I think something's going to give here. I just don't know when. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why TD Ameritrade already cleared out my profit loss for the day. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, sometimes brokers. Anyway, I had a small loss here, guys. It was about I think because I had you can see I had 25 contracts I traded between last night and today. I think if I remember right, guys, it was about 137 negative. Okay, something like that. I don't know why they cleared this out. I have no idea. They usually don't clear this out until midnight. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, it was a $137 loss, guys. I was up about 168 or close to 200. And then at 6 a.m., I think it was 7 a.m., I closed it out. I was down like 168. And then I made one little small trade for like 5 contracts and got some of it back. So there you go, 137 negative, guys. Whatever, small little stop loss day. It wasn't a big day. And there you go. So I promised to I kept my promise. Okay, I kept my promise. I'm showing my profit loss for the day. This is only one of the few trades I've made in the last few days. I haven't really been doing a lot of trading. Okay, and let me mention one other thing. I actually have a small business where I'm in Texas, and here in Texas, I might have an opportunity to actually refine some crude oil. You gotta love Texas, guys. This is a very business friendly state. Okay, no personal income tax, very business friendly. I love it here. I was born here and I love it here. Okay, anyway, I might have an opportunity to refine some crude oil. Okay, and I'll finish up the video with this. So for those that may be interested, I think I might launch another YouTube channel. If I do, I'll let you know. For those that want to follow along on small business, you can. Okay, and when I get that going, I'll announce it. But basically, I'll be refining crude oil probably into 3 primary products. This is the kind of products you'd go to your gas station and you would buy. One would be obviously gasoline. Okay, the big one would be probably the biggest one would be diesel, and there might be some kerosene in there. Those are the 3 big distilled or refined products that we would get out of crude. Okay, so it'd be a very small operation, but I'm looking into it. I'm getting some equipment in. Looking forward to that. When that happens, guys and gals, for those that are interested, I'll announce it, and you can click on the link and go to the new YouTube channel and subscribe there if you want to follow along and see how small businesses operate. Okay. So some of you guys and gals, I know you're not just interested in trading, but you're also interested in maybe profiting in small businesses. That'll be a great opportunity for you small entrepreneurs that may want to follow along with that, okay? So look forward to that. I'll announce it when it comes out. Okay, now that finally ends the video for today. Boy, there's a lot going on in my life, right? Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate that too. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos we put them out. Talk to you all real soon again next time.